there. Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you are here. And yes, we are going to get into seeing what's going on with Chris Brown, because as you may have saw on that thumbnail, it appears that he is still winning. Now, I actually did a couple of videos where it told us exactly what was going on and then his response. So if you haven't gotten a chance to see those videos, definitely make sure that you do after this video. Take a look-see and get that information in regards to what was going on and still maybe currently going on at this moment. In a nutshell, apparently there is a petition that's going around, and I want to say in South Africa, in regards to some performances that will take place in December of this year. So probably in a few weeks or so from now, that Chris Brown was going to be planning on performing for, it seems like probably large crowds. And the petition was associated with the fact that there was a group that was not too keen on him actually coming to perform due to the past situations that he has been embroiled with and has definitely been marred with for, I would say, from his career from that point until continued on naturally in regards to DBing. And so there's lots of details and information in both of those videos, to include the actual petition, what it surrounds, and all of that good stuff, and then also his response. So again, definitely check out those two videos if you're not fully aware what's going on there. But I kind of imagine if you are a Chris Brown fan, you probably are fully aware of what's going on with that. But definitely check those out for the details if you should want to do so. Now, this one, we are going to take a little bit more of a positive take because, hey, even with all of that going on and a lot of the issues that he has been dealing and associated with that particular past situation, he's still finding ways to win. And, there has tips to scale for, you and what goes on throughout our journey of what this thing we call life. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into what is actually going on and how is he still winning. And let's just sit back and enjoy this sharing. So now, according to Billboard.com, it shares that Chris Brown has third most number ones on rhythmic airplay thanks to residuals. Now, the newly Grammy-nominated track helps him break away from a tie with Bruno Mars, The Weeknd, and Usher to hold the number 3 all-time spot. Way to go, Chris. Now, Chris Brown breaks a 4-way tie to take sole possession of the third most number ones on Billboard's rhythmic airplay chart as Residuals crowns the list dated November 16th. The single enjoyed a 6% gain in the November 1 through 7 tracking week and was the most played song on U.S. monitored rhythmic radio stations in the tracking window, according to Luminate. Now, with Residuals released on CBE RCA Records, Brown scores his 14th leader on the airplay list. He moves from one ahead of a trio of fellow R&B pop superstars Bruno Mars, The Weeknd, and Usher, who each have 13 champs. As Brown adds another chart topper to his account, he now trails only Drake at 39, Rihanna at 17 for the most number ones on rhythmic airplay since the chart began in 1992. So here is a review of Bruno Brown's number ones on the rhythmic airplay. Song title, artist if other than Chris Brown, weeks at number 1, and their peak date is what's going to be covered in this list. So I would be interested to know that if you're a Chris Brown fan or just a fan of his music, it really doesn't matter. Let me know if any of these chart number 1 for you. First one on the list is Run It. 7 and November 19th, 2005 is the actual peak date, and it spent 7 weeks apparently at number 1. Kiss Kiss featuring T-Pain spent 5 weeks on number 1, and its peak date was November 17th, 2007. With You spent 6 weeks at number 1. Its peak date was March 1st of 2008. Get Like Me with David Banner featuring Chris Brown spent 2 weeks at the number 1 spot, and its peak date was August 2nd, 2008. Look at Me Now featuring Lil Wayne and Busta Rhymes spent 1 week at the number 1 spot, and its peak date was May 7th, 2011. Show Me Kid Ink featuring Chris Brown spent 3 weeks on the number one spot, and its peak date was February 8, 2014. Loyal featuring Lil Wayne and French Montana, Too Short or Tyga spent 2 weeks on the number one slot, and its peak date was May 10th, 2014. New Flame featuring Usher and Rick Ross spent 1 week on the number one spot. Its peak date was November 15th, 2014. Post to Be, Omarion featuring Chris Brown and Jhené Aiko spent 1 week at the number one spot, and its peak date was July 4th, 2015. No Guidance featuring Drake spent 4 weeks on the number one spot, and its peak date was August 3rd, 2019. Heat featuring Gunna, 1 week it spent on the number one, and November 23rd, 2019 was its peak date. Go Crazy with Young Thug spent 1 week on the number one spot, and its peak date was August 1st, 2020. Under the Influence spent 6 weeks on the number one spot. December 3rd, 2022 was its peak day. And Residuals, 1 to date, is what the week is for the number one spot. And its peak day is November 16th, 2024. So there's still more time to see how that shapes up for its peak time. If that's going to change, it's what it is right now, or how, for the long it could go. Now, notably, Brown's latest 2 rhythmic airplay leaders prove how fan-led engagement can yield big radio successes. Residuals was released in April of 2024 on the deluxe edition of Brown's 1111 album and emerged as a fan favorite on social media, with many clips shared from the hitmaker's performances on the 1111 tour. Streams and sales pushed the track up the Hot R&B Songs chart by June and ahead of its official push at a radio in August. Given its proven ground support, the radio wins followed quickly, and in addition to topping rhythmic airplay, Residuals climbs 4 to 3 on the newest mainstream R&B hip-hop airplay chart. Now, Under the Influence, likewise, built off of social media support, particularly on TikTok. The 2019 track went viral in 2022, sparking big returns on several charts, including number one results on both rhythmic airplay and mainstream R&B hip-hop airplay, and a number 12 peak on the Billboard Hot 100. Elsewhere, Residuals advances 5 to 4 on the R&B hip-hop airplay chart, which ranks songs by combined audience totals on the adult R&B and mainstream R&B hip-hop stations, which an 11% gain to 13.4 million and format listenership. I don't even know if that word all the way came out. We're going to try it again. Listenership. I like that word. Anyways, gains from rhythmic and R&B hip hop audiences push Residuals 27 to 25 on the all genre radio songs chart. There, it improved 10% to reach 24.8 million in total audience. And what does all these numbers say about this particular achievement? Is that his fan base really does stick with him. And that's what you want as an artist, right? You want those true blue fans who will never let you down and will continue to support you. And that is really what represents these numbers for him. Now, one of the things I find very fascinating is how the music industry has changed over the years in regards to how things are recorded and what actually plays, if you will, and getting the real accurate numbers of streaming and how many sales really happens. There was a period of time where you actually were doing direct sales with album sales, going to the the record store and getting whatever tapes or albums or DVD or CDs, those types of things, and sales were branched off of that. And now that you're adding in the streaming platforms and all of those accounts for the particular airplays, it's very fascinating to see how things have changed over time and how we represent what actual success is when it comes to the numbers. So congratulations to Chris on this. I mean, this is really, I think, a great achievement and not something that, many others get to achieve in their lifetime. So, he's doing the work in this capacity, and it obviously shows. And it also shows the amount of connection and rapport he has to his true blue fans, and probably is, getting new fans by the dozen, hundreds, or whatever, as he continues on in his career. So I think that we're going to continue to see more and more of Chris Brown, and maybe a little bit of a tide change in some ways of how he is presented. I guess time will only tell as far as that is concerned. Of course, with the situation at hand when it comes to that petition, I haven't seen anything that's changed in the perspective of him actually going to perform there. So if I do see an update with that, I most certainly will bring it up to you guys and share that with you. But as of right now, it seems like it's all systems a go-go, and he's going to continue to probably perform in those venues, and he seems to be, excited about doing so. And as far as some of the commentary from his fans, they seem to be very excited. Some of them also for him coming to, perform, and that they can have a great night for themselves. So, yeah, I think this was a really great accomplishment again. And kudos to Chris. And I'm sure if he continues to keep doing what he is doing now and is staying very focused and grounded into the music, I think that he will continue to keep winning. So with that being said, thank you so much for spending some time with me and exploring a little bit about what this accomplishment and achievement actually means for Chris. And yeah, congratulations to him on this accomplishment. Wishing him many more achievements and winnings as time goes on. And we'll see how things shake up for him. But I don't think that he's going to be going down anytime soon. So there's going to be more achievements to, I'm sure, accomplish. And we'll be all here to see them as time goes on. So with that, thank you again for being here. If you are new here and you haven't had a chance to hit that subscribe button, I hope that you will and be a part of the family, because I would so love to have you. And of course, make sure you give this video a like, as I would so appreciate that as well. And make sure you also keep your all notification bells on so you do not miss any of my uploads. This will probably be the last one for today, but of course, I will be having future videos coming down the platform that I most certainly would like to know your thoughts, and as I will be sharing mine. So definitely leave your thoughts, respectfully and thoughtfully down below in the comment sections about this achievement for Chris and what you think. And again, any of those songs that I had shared in the residual, background as far as all of the numbers and how this came about for him, let me know which ones are your favorite. If you have more than one, definitely, drop those down there as well. I'd be curious to know. So with that, again, thank you so much. I think that will do it for this video. And so therefore, I'm going to bid you adieu, but you take care, be blessed, and definitely please stay safe. And until next time, bye.